Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and today I'll be doing another triple reaction. This time our theme is covers of the Grateful Dead. We'll be listening to 3 different groups take a stab at Grateful Dead songs, and that is already a very tall task, but I'm excited to hear what they've got. First we'll start out with Dead and Company, which actually contains former Grateful Dead members, so presumably they will have an easier time putting a performance together. Then we'll follow it up with Holly Bowling, and lastly, Dust on a Lampshade. I hope you guys are excited to check these out alongside me today, but before we jump in, a massive thank you to Jeffrey the Gentle for making this donation request. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. And now, let's jump in, starting with Sugaree performed by Dead and Company. So we've got John Mayer here, which is absolutely crazy. I know we've got Bob Weir in this as well. We've got Mickey Hart.
When they come to take you down, when they bring that wagon round, and when they come to call on you, drag your poor body down. Just one thing I ask of you.
Dude, I love John's vocals so much.
Just one thing for me. Please forget you know my name, my darling. Sugaree. Shake it, Sugaree. Just don't tell her you know.
They're doing this song justice.
Shake it, Sugaree. Just don't tell her you know.
Is John gonna take a solo, or is Bob gonna take one first? This is real cool. I've done just a handful of John Mayer reactions on the channel. My experience with John is rather limited, but I've always enjoyed his bluesy style, the way he's able to jump from riff style playing and singing into these amazing ballad-esque guitar melodies and solos. It really was amazing. I did a reaction to him and Keith Urban playing together. Truly blew my mind. And he fits that same bill in this performance as well. Though he has a different style to Jerry, I think I can already kind of notice it in the licks he's going for. Jerry likes to almost create a flood of notes, and John here is being maybe extra tactful in his phrasing.
You thought you was the cool fool. You never could do no wrong. You had everything sewn up tight. How come you wear your wig? Oh,
imagine how many good Deadheads are out there. Original Deadheads.
Please forget, you know my name, my darling. Sugaree. Shake it, shake it, Sugaree.
Wow.
Just don't tell her you know me. Shake it, Sugaree. Just don't tell her you know.
Oh, this feels more like Jerry. Just a little bit more. Oh yeah. Also, a bit of a difference I'm noticing in the way this is mixed for sure is that the guitar definitely is more front and center, but it's also not as, I think, thin in the mix. It has a bit of a fuller sound. All of the surrounding instrumentation also feels very full, which almost like takes away a little bit of the nuances that you would hear in Grateful Dead, where you heard all of those individual layers working almost independently, like multiple hands doing separate things. Like, for example, we would normally hear the bass having a more pronounced and dynamic role. The same thing can be said about like the second guitar and Bob's guitar. We can't really hear it as much here. You hear a little bit more in the keys. The keys are mixed pretty well. There's a brightness to that sound. But it's definitely not the Grateful Dead. This is Grateful Dead and Company, which is really good. I'm glad that I'm sure many Deadheads in this audience got to relive those years. This is 2023.
Well, in spite of all you gain, you still had to stand out in the pouring rain. 'Cause one last voice is calling you, and I guess it's time you go. It's just one thing I ask of you. It's just one thing for me.
bass now. I'm very glad they chose John for this. This feels like insanely well polished, like all of these abrupt stops and starts and solo sections. It is all dynamic, yet I mean, they're arranging it in such a way that it feels more fluid, yet like the structure is really there. I don't know if that even makes sense. I just probably contradicted myself twice. Help me out in the comments. How is this different than the Grateful Dead? Because it is different. I'm having trouble figuring out the specifics.
Sugaree.
Very bluesy though, I will say. Maybe more than normal.
And if that Jubilee don't come, maybe I'll meet you on the run. There's just one thing I ask of you, and it's just one thing for me. Please forget you know my name, my darling Sugaree. Shake, shake, Sugaree.
Dude, that is insane. And I know John is like touted as being one of the best guitarists of the modern era simply due to his phrasing and his ability to imbue so much emotion and musical narrative in his playing, but it really shows here. The quality of guitar solo that John brings to the table, it is certainly different than what Jerry brings to the table, and I love both of those styles for different reasons. And I think John's style here, it almost like changes the overall feel of Grateful Dead. Honestly, I think that may be the reason I feel the difference. I think it mainly comes from John. I would also say the mix as well. It feels a little bit more full, like there's more, I guess, glue between the cracks of what you hear in Grateful Dead, because when you listen to Grateful Dead itself, especially a lot of the older recordings, you hear more of the independent instruments all doing their thing, where there is potential silence between those gaps sonically. I'm really curious, guys. Let me know what you think about Dead and Company compared to Grateful Dead in the comments below. You'll probably have far more informed opinions than I will on the subject matter. That was Dead and Company. Let's check out Holly Bowling here. She's doing a cover of Cryptical Envelopment into the other one. We've heard the other one twice now. One was a hellish version. The other was, I think, a normal one. Now we'll hear Holly take a stab at these songs, I believe, on the keys. Let's begin. I can always use more beautiful piano for my studying playlist. Wow, I can hear I hear the Grateful Deadness in her playing. Just the styles of melodies they like. Wow. I love that I can like kind of pick out the guitar part and the bass part in this so far. That is a cool coloring. Wow, hear that walking bass line right there? It is so subtle. Let me see if I can point it out for you. Wow, the bass just kept ascending. Whoa. catchy. You know, interestingly, the like octave that she's choosing makes it almost feel like a more, and Baroque wouldn't be the correct term here, but she's opting for a darker, let's say, effect over the entirety of what I presume to be a brighter track in cryptical envelopment. And just, this is my own like assumptions about cryptical envelopment, but knowing the Grateful Dead sound, you really get bright guitars in Jerry, in Bob, and a lot of that brightness in these lower piano sections kind of just goes away. You can hear still the right hand being higher up in terms of pitch, but it is still all caked in the zone of like bass. This is like what would happen if you, instead of handing Jerry like a standard electric guitar, you gave him a bass guitar or something, or just tuned everybody down. Maybe like G standard tuning or something. But it has the Grateful Dead bounce. Oh, that was so satisfying. Wow, she is a great player. It's like what I'm noticing is the chords like are the fixtures in her performance, but the notes between serve as that like melodic counterpoint that we typically hear in Grateful Dead. So when you have like a main, let's say it's a vocal line in one section or a main guitar lead section from Jerry, you get notes that bubble up in between those main pillars coming from other instruments. And so here it feels like Holly's trying to emulate that similar feel by adding the and notes between everything. What I'm not noticing in this performance, which it may just be an artifact of the song Cryptical Envelopment that I haven't heard before, but the dynamics that we're used to hearing with Grateful Dead getting louder in sections and then a little quieter and really gradually dialing it down, I'm not really hearing that happen here. And I guess to bring it back to Dead and Company, I don't think I really heard it happen there all that much either. I guess something to think about. don't remember the other one sounding like this. I think I'm still scarred. That is really pretty. When she ascends like that. Oh, here are the dynamics I'm talking about. And the slowdown. Ah, yeah. I love that ending. Like the way everything brightened up. Obviously, we're ascending, we're getting higher and higher pitches, but simultaneously, as we're climbing, things are getting quieter, and then she turns down the intensity. Because I think for the most part, especially through cryptical envelopment, she was playing the keys with a lot of gusto, right? She wasn't holding back her strength. And it created a sort of pianist feel, one that I think is separate from the feel of Grateful Dead, which is fine. You know, like the whole point about covers is that you get to re-envision a song in a different way, so you don't have to be as precise in your, you know, emulation of that band. But it would have been nice to hear those dynamics earlier on. It almost took a little bit away from like the feeling of Grateful Dead. If I heard the first, 5 minutes at least, I would have presumed it could have been any band. You know, the fact that I knew that it was a Grateful Dead cover, allowed me to like confirm my bias and put some of the melodic puzzle pieces together. Like, oh yeah, this kind of sounds like a Grateful Dead melody and has that nice bounce and rhythm to it. But this one I think was less true to the original feel of Grateful Dead, at least until the very end, where, even still I kind of confirmed my bias by pointing out the slowdown, the quieting, but an amazing player she is. Let me know again what you guys think of these covers in the comments below, if they're true to the Grateful Dead, if they absolutely defile the memory of Grateful Dead. I'd love to hear your opinions. But we still have one more cover to check out. This one is from what are they called? Dust on a Lampshade. This one they're doing a Ramble on Rose and Birdsong cover. Let's begin. And apparently this was submitted to the Grateful Dead themselves in some sort of like competition or something. This has that chill Grateful Dead bounce.
Just like Jack the Ripper.
Oh.
Just like Mojo Ham.
Wait, I like this.
Just like Billy Sunday in a shotgun ragtime band. Just like New York City.
Oh, I really like this.
Just like Jericho. Pace the halls and climb the walls. Get out for your blow. Did you say your name was Ramblin' Rose? Ramble on, baby. Oh, now settle down easy.
This is the truest to Grateful Dead, I think, out of the three.
Ramble on, Rose.
Somehow.
just like Jack and Jill. Mama told the jailer, one heat up, one cool down, leave nothing for the tailor. Just like Jack and Jill. Papa told the jailer, one go up and one go down. Now, do yourself a favor. Did you say your name was Ramblin' Rose?
Her voice is so soothing.
Ramble on, baby. Settle down easy. Ramble on, Rose. I'm gonna sing you 100 verses of ragtime. I know this song, it ain't never gonna end. I'm gonna march you up and down the county line and take you to the leader of the band.
Oh, great phrasing. And that tone feels like Jerry, for real. Oh my gosh. You know, not to say that like Dead and Company didn't do Grateful Dead justice, because you literally have former members of Grateful Dead there, but this just puts me right back into when I first started listening to Grateful Dead, more so than the Sugaree Dead and Company performance. And still, this feels somehow more bluesy than even the original Ramble on Rose. The original Ramble on Rose, or I guess original is a bit of a loaded word. The first performance I heard of Ramble on Rose was a bit more raw and bouncy. This is very well couched in these nice legato phrases. Again, there feels like a lot. It feels like there's a lot of glue between all of the layers in this mix, and that may just be an artifact of the way that sound engineers do their thing in the modern era versus what was possible in the past. Great work from this player.
Just like Crazy Otto, just like Wolfman Jack, sitting plush with the royal flush, aces back to back. Just like Mary Shelley, baby, just like Frankenstein. Clank your chains and count your change and try to walk the line. Did you say your name was Ramblin' Rose? Ramble on, baby. Ooh, settle down easy.
I love the bass tone in this too.
Ramble on the road. I'm gonna sing you 100 verses of ragtime. I know this song, it ain't
drop it out just like Grateful Dead. They strip down the mix again. I love this. Wow, what a transition. Wow. Super impressed. I want to hear that transition again. It was so just smooth, man. Buttery smooth. We gotta go further back. More context. Right there. What a transition. You know, even still listening to this version, though they're doing such a good job, again, they're not able to capture the complete essence of Grateful Dead, nor should they try. Normally, when you listen to the Grateful Dead, you'd be hearing far more chaos in the mix, but this feels so dialed in. It is a very buttoned up version of, well, what's now to be Birdsong.
All I know is something like a bird within his soul.
Like everything on the one, on the two, on the and, like they would never be this precise.
All I know is she sang a little while and then blew
The sax.
Tell me all that you know, I'll show you snow and rain. If you hear that same sweet song again, you know why.
Wow. She descended on that vocal run for like ever.
If you hear that same sweet song again, you know why.
Just for so long.
Anyone who sings a tune so sweet is passing by. Laugh in the sunshine and sing, cry in the dark, fly through the night. Don't cry now. Don't you cry. Don't you cry anymore. La la la. Sleep in the stars. Don't you cry. Dry your eyes on the wind.
Oh, give us more guitar. Oh, the visual. We're in sepia land now. I like that now we hear the simultaneous melodies even more pronounced. Like I was kind of conveying earlier, I was hoping that many multiple melodies would occur with each instrument. I hear one in the sax, I hear one in the guitar, I hear one in the bass now, and in the keys. They're all mishmashing. Small note, I have not seen the camera pointed to the drummer. Is the drummer a real person or is it programmed in? Dude, this is so good, man. Please, I would love to hear your opinions about these three covers in the comments below. Camera fell. Wow.
Don't cry now.
I'm so impressed.
Don't you cry. Dry your eyes for me. La da da da.
La, da, da, da.
Sleep in the stars. Don't you cry. Dry your eyes on me. La da da da.
Fabulous. I am so impressed by that. I mean, it is already a monumentally impossible task to catch the Grateful Dead lightning in a bottle. And I think each of these covers that we reacted to, checked out today, they all were able to capture some elements of the Grateful Dead. And collectively, you know, maybe they comprise like 85-90% of what the Grateful Dead is capable of. But in all honesty, not one of these covers like could perfectly match what they did. Now, that aside, because we have to get the obvious out of the way first, I loved this last cover, I think, the most out of the three that we checked out today. I think if I had to like rank order it, I would go this Ramble on Rose Birdsong cover, then back to Sugaree, and then in the middle with Cryptical Envelopment, as well as the other one. The reason for that is because I felt the most connected to the bounce, the dynamics. Each of the instruments were audible in this mix of Birdsong and Ramble on Rose, compared to the Sugaree, which Sugaree was massive. It was almost like an arena rock, blues rock version of Sugaree, but it does change the style a bit from Grateful Dead away, which isn't a problem at all, but it is a bit of a modification, and it's a good choice. I don't think it's a bad performance by any stretch, but it is different. So I think this group here, I want to get their name right, Dust on a Lampshade, took the best stab at recreating that Grateful Dead feel. I would love to hear more of their covers. And then I think the second up there was John Mayer and co. with Bob on stage. Just awesome that they're still around, playing more music, envisioning it in different ways. And man, the John Mayer solos continue to defy reality. I love the narrative he paints. Melodically, it is so stellar, and he's also a phrasing and technical god, so he's got all of those things going for him at the same time. And then lastly with Holly, I think the reason I get like a little bit hung up on this rendition of Cryptical Envelopment as well as the other one is not because her arrangement is bad per se. Like if it was just like a regular piano song with no label attached to it being the Grateful Dead, I wouldn't make this comment, but we sat in the lows far too much for my liking. It was a little bit more intense in those lows than I think the song calls for. You know, like the pianist was doing in the last group, the Dust on a Lampshade group. He was taking a lot of moments to play the lows in his left, but also brighten things up by fluttering his hand over the right and playing a bit more of a jazzy style. Maybe something like that could have brightened up her performance just a little bit more, but I did think by the end with the other one she pulled it around and brought back some of that original Grateful Dead feel. But these are all my subjective, half-baked opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm really curious what you guys think about these covers. But that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed my reaction, leave a like, comment for the algorithm, subscribe, make sure you're subscribed, all that good stuff. And if you would like to make a reaction request yourself, you can do so by clicking the first link in the description box below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.